Okay, guys, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and opinion on Shannon Sharpe's debut on First Take day one, all right? His first day on First Take, you can clearly tell Shannon Sharpe was clearly nervous. Maybe he's nervous at not trying to make mistakes or, trying to catch himself saying something crazy like he normally did on Fox Sports 1. You can clearly tell that, the moments in at First Take, they started off with a skit. He pretended to be a drill sergeant, got in close to the grill of Stephen A. Smith. And, Stephen A. Smith, after he did the skit, Stephen A. Smith snaps back to his normal self and say, "Hey, yo, this is my show, First Take." And I kept noticing that during the whole presentation. And I know people out there, some of you guys can't understand or can't check the temperature of the room. Some of you guys can't read a room, and body language and what people say are very, very important. And I noticed it through the whole presentation. The alpha in Stephen A. Smith is letting the alpha Shannon Sharpe know that First Take is his baby. He's the boss over there at First Take. And what he wants on the show, it'll be on the show. So he's already coming in an alpha type of way to Shannon Sharpe. It's very subtle. You can't you can't pick it up right away. But if you're really paying attention, you can tell. Even when Molly, they got a presentation that's exclusive to YouTube, and I was watching that video. She kept saying and kept, letting the world know, as well as Shannon Sharpe, this is our show. And she was looking at Stephen A. Smith like Molly was saying, look, this is our show, okay? You're the guest, okay? You're the guest host, okay? You don't you don't have any control with the show and things of that nature. You can clearly tell throughout the whole presentation that Molly, as well as Stephen A. Smith, is letting Shannon and the world know that a lot of things that you was doing over there at Undisputed, and Skip allowed you to do it. Now, Skip could have been scared of Shannon Sharpe, or he could have been scared of Shannon Sharpe's popularity, or he just respected Shannon Sharpe to allow Shannon Sharpe to do whatever he want. Remember, over there, and I told you guys this, when there was talk that he may go to ESPN, he will have to clean up his language, and he will have to clean up the skits. So no more black and miles, no more mixing drinks, no more wave caps, no more TikTok social media lingo like he was freely to do and allowed to do over there at Fox Sports 1. He's going to have to clean it up. This is a family-oriented network, Disney, and they're not going to allow Shannon Sharpe to mix drinks live on air or, say those colorful words he likes to say like he used to at Fox Sports 1. He's not going to be able to be allowed to do that. All right. So you can clearly tell he's probably nervous because he's new. He's probably nervous because, him and Stephen A. really hasn't done this for a long period of time. And he's just trying to get the nuances between Stephen A. Smith and himself. But you can clearly tell he's being very mindful of what he's saying with every word. And that's why I felt like he was fumbling his words a lot. All right. Another thing I noticed when watching the show, he kept calling Stephen A. Skip. And I knew that was going to happen. Y'all have to understand, Shannon Sharpe and Skip did Undisputed for 7 years. And it's kind of hard to, not mention his name or not mention your ex-employee's name at your new job, particularly if you had a real good kinship, a real good chemistry, a real good working relationship. But this also demonstrates that he respects Skip Bayless. He even mentioned it on Club Shay Shay. Okay. So the fact that a lot of people are pushing this narrative of Skip Bayless got Stephen A. I'm even saying it, that Skip Bayless got Shannon Sharpe up and out of Fox Sports 1 is just ridiculous. All right. I'm not going to go into why it just didn't work out with Fox Sports 1. You can go check out those videos, but I clearly explained it. This was more to do with money than control or the respect or disrespect he had towards Skip Bayless. I don't think Shannon Sharpe has any is disrespected Skip, not in the slightest. But yeah, that's, I'm not going to go into that. You can check out those other videos. All right. We're merely only talking about today's show. Now, another thing I noticed about First Take, what I also noticed about Undisputed, and I mentioned this last week, over there at Undisputed, they really didn't have a lot of topics to cover. Because remember, they started a week early. There was no college football. There was no NFL. There was no NBA. All right. Now, Shannon Sharpe made his debut. College football started over the weekend. There was topics to cover on the college football landscape. You still had the U.S. Open. You had World Basketball. The USA lost. Okay, they're still in the semifinal. Well, they're still in the finals, but they lost. So there are some topics you can cover that Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe can talk about, as well as football. All right, even though football hasn't officially started, but there's still some football stories out there. All right, and having topics to talk about, I feel like it's more important than the actual people talking about the topics. All right. So I think that was a plus for First Take, and it was a disadvantage for Fox, Undisputed. Okay. Another thing I noticed about the show, and I think I've said this earlier in the video, Shannon Sharpe was being very careful of his dialogue on ESPN. And I feel like that was one of the reasons why he was a little nervous. He was a little flustered. He started bumbling words together because he's being very, very careful of what he's saying. All right. And that's what happens when you go from one network. You're allowed to say whatever you want to say. You're allowed to be colorful with your language. You're sometimes allowed to use profanity, but you have to clean it up. But you still have the definition, but you just change the letters around on the profanity, which was allowed at Fox Sports 1. Fox Sports 1 allows them to say whatever they want, as long as they're not breaking the FFC rules. Okay. Over there at Disney, that's a different audience. They're more family oriented, and they just don't want people using colorful language or being controversial or talking about politics and things of that nature. I think a lot of people don't give Shannon Sharpe his flowers on this. This man has range. He can talk about anything. He can talk about celebrity news. He can talk about sports entertainment. But what he's really, really good at, and Stephen A. Smith is good at this too, is talking about politics. And that's one thing ESPN is not going to allow Shannon Sharpe to do and Stephen A. Smith to do. Now, Stephen A. Smith is free to do that on his own platform or when he goes to Fox News or CNN or whatever. It's just on Disney's dime, he's not going to be able to allow. He's not allowed to do that. And that's the same thing goes for Shannon Sharpe. But the difference between Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Smith, he's only doing First Take 2 days a week, guys. So the rest of the week, he's free to say whatever he wants to say. All right. Versus Stephen A. Smith, he has to do this 5 days a week. I understand that he has a YouTube channel and he makes content there. But, it just is what it is. And I think that's the benefit of how Shannon Sharpe got his thing set up. He's only doing ESPN part-time. He imported Club Shay Shay to the Volume, Colin Cowherd's digital platform. He's going to do content exclusively for the Volume, okay? And he's still going to do Club Shay Shay. So that's what happens when you have freedom and flexibility, all right? So that's one of the benefits of his situation that he finds himself in, all right? But if I have to give it a grade, I give it a B plus. And the reason why I couldn't give it an A, it had to be spot on perfect. And there was parts of him on Undisputed that I just can't just give a clear, solid A on. Now, he's got one more day, which is tomorrow, to improve from today. And I think he's going to improve, he's going to excel, and it's going to be A plus all the way versus what Skip Bayless is doing with his quote-unquote dream team. He has 5 days to improve each show each and every day. And every show is going to be different because you're going to have different people on each show. All right. So even though Skip Bayless has more time to correct the errors of the previous show, he doesn't. I feel like the advantages of Shannon Sharpe, he only has to do Undisputed 2 days, and then he's up out of there. Okay. So I give it a B plus. There's room for growth, and I feel like over time this is going to get better, not worse, better. And the ratings are going to blow up. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, look, they're going to start comparing. Look. Okay? Look at the first week of Undisputed. Look how low those ratings are. Now, look at ESPN, the 2 days with Shannon Sharpe. Okay? You see the difference? People, don't understand. And I'm going to say it again. And I've been saying this for 7 years, and I'm running. ESPN is in more households. It's in more markets. It's well known around the world versus Fox Sports 1. I'm sorry. It just is. ESPN has more subscribers. Even though they have lost a lot of subscribers, they still got more subscribers than Fox Sports 1. So, it is what it is. All right. So, if you're comparing it that way, hey, I wish you well on that. But I feel like a First Take has I feel like the debut with Shannon Sharpe on First Take was good. It wasn't great. There was some errors along the way, and these errors are going to clearly be resolved on the next show. And we're just going to have to wait and see. You can wait and see all you want to. I think it's going to get better. So that's all I got. Guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.